It's raining and I'm bored. Let's build something. Alright. So, what I want to do today is turn that off so you can hear me. I saw this on social media like a year ago or something, and it's basically how to build your own Steadicam. I am missing one component that I just have not had the time or the money or the wherewithal or whatever to get. So we'll get to that. But basically, we're going to build a Steadicam out of this. So, yeah, let's get started on that. So my first component is this piece of scrap wood. I can't remember what kind of wood this is, but it's laying around in the shop. It's not really doing anything. I don't really want to use it for inlays because I don't like the grain and stuff. So I'm going to grab one of the planes, shape this down just a little bit because it's real, I don't know if you can, yeah, you can sort of see it. It's real wavy from the way it was cut. So I want to just kind of smooth that out, square up the edges a little bit, which you don't have to for what we're doing, but I want to for my own justification. I mean, as far as that goes, you could take a trim router and put a nice little Roman OG, you know, round over on it or whatever, a bull nose. I'm just going to square it up because I want to keep as much weight as I can. So, let's grab a plane. You haven't seen this yet, have you? This is my woodworking cabinet. Not like the whole shop's not a woodworking cabinet. Alright. I don't think I'm going to need the big 14-inch boy here. Maybe we can use the little one. By the way, one of our friends, David Hoteling, has a book out. Advocates for Salvation of Wildlife by David Hoteling. His second book's about to come out. I was very blessed to get one of the first copies and it's autographed with a personal note. You guys go check that out. It's on Amazon. Just Google it, you know. If I remember, I'll get a link in the description or something. But anyway, alright. We got our plane. Let's go to work. Like I said, I'm not really looking to super shape this or anything like that. I just want to trim it out a little bit, take some of the wave out of it. So what I'm going to do, until I build a proper table or station to do this with, I'm just going to clamp it by the edge here, do this half, and then we'll flip it around to the other half. So with this little plane, yeah, loosen everything up. Slide your blade out to the depth that you think you want. Tighten her back up. Nope, that was a little too deep. I'm still getting used to these. You guys just bear with me. Alright. That's not deep enough. That is the magic of hand tools. It takes a little bit to get used to them. Just turn her around. Took the high spots out. I knew it wasn't going to take much either because I don't really, like I said, I'm not shaping the wood per se as much as I'm just taking some of that out, some of that wave out of them. If you're using a hand plane, make sure you're going with the grain too. Going cross grain will give you a lot of tear out, chip out. There we go. Much, much, much better. Now let's do the edges. So for the edges, they're a little bit easier to maneuver here. Just going to clamp this up on end. Same thing here. You can see I'm still going with the grain, but there's a lot of end grain right here. So I'm still going to have some chip out, which is perfectly fine. If you really want to know how to use a plane, there are plenty of videos out there, and Jason's really more of an authority than I am. Alright, that's all I wanted to do, was just kind of touch up some of those rough spots. Ah, crud, I need my bench cleaned up. YouTube magic. Alright, so now, the next part of this, I can't really show you because I'm using the camera, but I have discovered that a 30mm bolt is what fits my camera. So what we're going to do, I need to bore a hole in this for this to fit through, and that's what the camera will screw onto. So let me get that all set up, and we'll show you how I'm working on that. As far as drilling this hole, I got a sacrificial board underneath here. Oh, I'm all up in the light. It'll be alright. I got a sacrificial board underneath that if I drill into it, it'll be perfectly fine. I've chosen a bit that's just slightly larger than my bolt. I'm going to go right about here. And just bore straight through. Once I got the hole bored, I need to come back with my big boy here. And basically I'm going to countersink to where the head of the bolt and the nut that's going to go on it will be just inset into the bore. So I'm going to do this on both sides. Alright, that should be good. Now we can put the big boy up. One thing I did kind of forget to mention is you do want to make your hole kind of towards the front of your board, because we're going to be attaching a flange to that. But for right now, we're going to be putting this in, attaching the nut, and then I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of epoxy to set that in. I'm going to use that same piece of scrap wood to mix my epoxy with. So let's just pop that off. Get our two parts out here. Bolt head secured. It's got the nut secured. Alright. Now we just got to let that sit for a bit and cure. Shouldn't take just a few moments. And instead of throwing the whole popsicle stick away, I'm just going to throw part of it away. Keep the rest for another project. Now that is fairly well sufficiently set up, I mean it's still a little tacky, but it'll be alright for now. We know this is going to be the top. Just in case I forget, I'm going to put a T up here so I know it's the top. So now we need to add a flange to the bottom. So what I've got here is a 1/2 inch floor flange for cast iron or galvanized pipe. Black iron pipe's what I'm using. So we're just going to need to let that rest. And what we'll do is get that positioned roughly center. Make some marks here of our holes and drill a couple pilot holes. So I'm using a 1/16 bit. I'm just going to drill these pilot holes right quick. Just want to go down enough that the wood is not going to split when we run the screw in. Okay, so now switch the bit. Hi dog. Put that over there. Start the first one. I'm not going all the way down yet because I want to make sure I get this all squared up and centered up. So now that they're all in, I'm going to just set them. I'm not going to hard set them, just give them a little bit. And we didn't poke through. Alright, now let's move on to putting it together. So now come the puzzle pieces. This is a 1/2 inch just galvanized steel, 5-inch. It's called a 5-inch nipple. It's a 5-inch pipe. We're going to screw that in. Make that nice and tight. It's not got to be stupid because, you know, it is what it is. The next thing to go on will be our 1/2 inch T fitting in galvanized. This is all galvanized stuff. Now putting this on, obviously you don't need pipe, thread tape, because there's not going to be any water in this. But you got to remember where your camera. So the camera's going to be facing that way. So do you want your handle on the left or the right? Me personally, I want it on the right. Bring it around till it's on the right. Now, we have 2 more here. 2 more of the 1/2 inch, 5-inch nipples. Put one down here. I'll put the other one on here. Now, I realize now too, I forgot to buy an extra cap. So I've only got the 1/2 inch cap here. But, so the real basis of this, to have a proper Steadicam, is to have a 2-pound barbell, a dumbbell weight down here. I haven't had a chance to get that yet. But you can already see, I'll go ahead and put the cap on right quick. I've also considered filling the pipe with sand, which would provide a decent amount of weight. I don't have a cap for this one. I gotta go back and get one. But you can see now that you're able, remember your camera's gonna mount here, be facing that way. So now you have a proper Steadicam for your camera. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And I did take note of everything. So the flange was $5.99, $1.39 a piece on the 5-inch nipples, $2.59 for the T, and $1.99 for the cap. So I'm going to need another one. But before tax, it's $14.74. It'll be about $16 after I get another cap. So, and for you math geeks, that's 14 and 37/50ths. But so yeah, for 15 bucks and a piece of scrap wood and a little bit of epoxy and a bolt, I've got a Steadicam now. And honestly, even without the weight on it, that's got enough heft to it to really, the videos I've seen with the weight, you can run and it keeps it fairly steady. I don't typically do anything like that because if I'm running, you need to run too. Something's coming. But yeah, so that's the little $15 Steadicam build, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this. It was just a quick and dirty and just something for fun. Leave us a like, comment, and subscribe. You can leave me a dislike, but you got to tell me why. If this is stuff you like seeing, just let me know. If there's other things you'd like to see, let me know. Just let us know what you want to see. Make sure you go visit the people that support us and, hit the bell for the notifications. That way you know when new videos are coming out. Leave us a comment, like I said, so we know that you're watching and you're enjoying it or not enjoying it. And it was a fun little build. It took me, with the epoxy and moving the camera and stuff, it took less than an hour. So if you actually sat down with all of this, I think you could build this in 20 minutes easily because the epoxy sets up in about 5. So to really get a hard set on, it takes about 30. But it sets up enough that You could easily do this in about 20 minutes. Like I said, I'm gonna get another cap. I'm gonna fill the pipe with sand just to add a little bit of weight. But yeah, it's a quick and fun little build. You know, added just some scrap stuff. So, all right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Catch us next time, and as always, it's gonna be a good day.